Okay, so to solve this particular equation, so what we are going to do, we will observe from this equation that this is also a symmetrical equation in which we have the middle term and we now have -2 here, we have +2 here, we have 1 here, 1 here. So whenever we have a symmetrical coefficient like that, so we tend to use the technique that we discussed earlier. So it's going to be y raised to power 4. We take this one and the last one, we combine them together as one. Then the second and the second to the last, we bring them together. So that will be -2y plus 2y. We bring them together. Then -2y squared. We bring them together. So after that, we'll now factorize this. So this y raised to power 4 plus 1, and this is gonna be a -2 is common. Bring it out. Don't forget that this one is raised to power 3. So when we bring y out of this place, so we are left with y squared minus 1 here, right? And don't forget that this one is plus, it's not minus. This is minus. Okay, this is plus here and this one is minus here. So by the time we bring out the minus as being common, then this is gonna be y squared here and this is gonna be -1 here, such that if we expand this bracket, we're still coming back to this. Very important. So this is gonna be 2y squared equals to 0. Okay, so the next thing we want to do here is that we'll now divide everything by y squared. So this is gonna be divided by y squared. So we divide this by y squared, divide this one by y squared, divide this by y squared, and of course divide it by y squared. So this is gonna give us y squared plus 1 all over y, right? Y squared plus 1 over y squared, right? And then this is gonna give us -2, because here now this y is gonna cause this 2 squared here. So this y, by the time it goes into the bracket, it makes this one to become y minus 1 over y, right? Well, this will become -2 because this is going to cause this, and of course this will be 0. So now that we have simplified the expression into this, we say let's p, for instance, equal to y minus 1 all over y, so, and if we tend to square this, if we square this, p square is gonna be y minus 1 over y square, and this is gonna give us, you square this now, it's gonna be y squared. You square this, the last term is gonna be plus 1 over y squared, then multiply the 2, that's minus 1, then times 2, that will be -2, right? -2. Okay, so by the time you bring this 2 to the other side here, so that will be p squared plus 2 is equals to y squared plus 1 all over y squared, right? So this particular expression is similar to what we have here, so we can now substitute this. Anywhere we see y squared plus 1 over y squared, we replace it with p squared plus 2. So it's gonna be p squared plus 2, p squared plus 2, that's this one, then minus, this is now p, minus 2p, then minus 2, minus 2p, then minus 2 equals to 0. So this one now, p squared minus 2p, then minus 2 here, plus 2 here, and minus 2 here, that will be 0. So that makes everything even simpler. So p is common here, bring it out, so that will be p minus 2 equals to 0. So p is either 0 or p is equal to 2, is equals to 2. So these are the two values of p. So these two values now will now substitute it back into this equation here. So this is gonna be y minus 1 all over y will be equal to either 0 or equals to 2. So in the first situation, when it is 0, you multiply everything by y, so that this becomes y squared minus 1 equals to 0. And from here, y is equals to plus or minus square root of 1. Right? Square root of 1, of course, is 1. So this is going to be plus or minus 1. So we have 2 of the answers there. Then in the second scenario, when it is 2, so y minus 1 all over y is equal to 2. Right? 1 over y. So if we multiply everything by y, that will be y squared minus 1 equals to 2y. So y minus 2y, y squared minus 2y minus 1 equals to 0. Right? So y minus 2y, that is this y, it is 2y. By the time it comes to this side of the equation, it becomes minus 2y, and this is minus 1. Right? So whenever we have this expression, we can use our quadratic equation, that is quadratic formula, to solve this. So y will be minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, that is minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, and that will be minus 2, because b is minus 2 from that equation, then plus or minus b squared, which is minus 2 square, then minus 4. So what is a, what is c? A is 1 and c is minus 1. Okay, everything all over 2a, that's a is 1. So this becomes 2 plus or minus, this is gonna be 4, and this is gonna be 4 too. 4 plus 4, that will be 8, right? All over 2. And we know that 8 is 4 times 2, right? And 4 times 2 is 8, so that will be 2 root 2. So 2 plus or minus 2 root 2 all over 2. And that's gonna be 2 is common, bring it out. We have 1 plus root 2 plus or minus root 2 all over 2 here, and this 2 will cos this 2. We are now left with 1 plus or minus square root of 2. So these are the two answers for the second one. So those two answers now, the final answer of y, we have the plus 1 minus 1 and 1 plus root 2, and we have 1 minus root 2. So these are the four answers. Okay, that's how we get this.